Hey, what's up guys? Casers here with VR Authority. Do you have dreams of dressing up in green and sneaking around the city shooting arrows at bad guys? Well, Twisted Arrow might just be for you. Twisted Arrow is a story-based archery-style shooter from Phaserlock Interactive. You play as an agent armed with a super fancy techno-bow, loosing overpowered arrows into the unsuspecting faces of a high-tech paramilitary force occupying your city. This game's a whole quiver full of fun. Here's our thoughts. First of all, the gameplay in Twisted Arrow feels like a really cool spin on the first-person shooter genre. Instead of simply pointing a gun at an enemy, you actually have to use both of your hands archery style to carefully aim each shot. And I gotta say, it's actually pretty challenging. The accuracy of your shot depends on the pitch and movement of each hand and also how far back you pull that bowstring. This is the aspect of the game that really sets it apart and makes it exciting to play in VR. Because at least for me, the first time I played this game, I kinda sucked. So having to actually put in physical skill to be good at this game makes it challenging and rewarding. Another aspect that makes this game a blast is the arsenal of weapons that you're armed with. Yeah, you're pretty much stuck with a bow, but it's not just a bow. It's some kind of crazy computerized techno-bow made by scientists that you can use to hack enemy computers, and pulling the trigger on the bow hand generates a shield that you can use to defend yourself. There are a variety of different arrows, and all of them use different amounts of energy. There's the basic arrow, which is good for most tasks, but you also have freeze arrows, mines, multiple shot arrows, and of course the splody boom fireball type of arrows. Can you guess which is my favorite? Depending on which arrow you use, you'll spend a certain amount of energy, which regenerates over time and which you can also grab in pickups. So it's fun to get creative using a different combination of arrows and your shield and just being straight tactical. Speaking of tactical, the story mode is actually really great. Kind of has a comic book, lighthearted feel, and definitely reminds me of some good times playing Goldeneye back in the day. During the story, you move throughout your city by teleporting, and although some people aren't quite a fan of teleporting, I think it works really well in this game because you can jump between buildings, up onto bridges, and get more tactical locations to show the bad guys what for. So that's the good stuff. As far as the not so good stuff, one big thing that sticks out is there are no checkpoints in the game. If you die at any point during a level, you have to start at the very beginning of the level. And the levels aren't super long, but some of the bosses at the end of levels are really hard, and we found ourselves dying a few times. Kidding, we found ourselves dying a lot. Even on the easy difficulty setting, a situation can get hairy pretty quick.
That thing's firing missiles.
Also, sometimes there's so much going on that it's kind of hard to tell why you died. A bad guy might pop up behind you and shoot you in the back of the head and you wouldn't even know. You just, all of a sudden you're dead. Not the biggest deal, but it's hard to learn from your mistakes when you don't really know what they were. Another thing that could be better in this game is there's no way to level up and there's no unlockables. You have the same weapons and same skills at the beginning of the game and the end of the game, which makes the game completely based on your skill level. In some ways that's awesome, but it would be nice to be rewarded a little bit with maybe upgraded weapons or faster regeneration of your energy or health. So other than a couple little things, Twisted Arrow has become one of my favorite games. It's a really fun but challenging VR shooter with just enough variety and freshness for a good time. Dodging bullets and loosing arrows into bad guys' faces gives you a distinct "I'm Legolas and this is my city" feeling that you just don't get with ordinary shooters. It feels like a very welcome homage to some of my favorite video games back in the day, and I give it a very solid 5 arrows into a bad guy face. So if you're looking for a VR experience that lets you feel like Green Arrow, this is the game for you. Thanks for watching, guys. For more VR game reviews, subscribe here on YouTube to VR Authority and check out vr-authority.com.